Imagine, if you will, a world where the familiar warmth of the sun is not the only source of light. A world where two suns share the sky, each casting its own unique glow, forever altering the rhythms of the planet. Earth, bathed in the light of two cosmic giants, seems a paradise of endless energy. But what if that very energy was its downfall? What if this twin star system, so tantalizing in its beauty, would change everything? From the air we breathe to the food we eat, from the very essence of life itself to the future of humanity, the presence of two suns would make life as we know it unrecognizable. In a binary star system, Earth's orbit would no longer follow the steady path we've grown accustomed to. The gravitational forces from two suns would pull the planet in different directions, causing Earth's orbit to wobble unpredictably. In some periods, Earth would be drawn closer to one of the stars, experiencing intense heat, while in others, it would veer further out, plunging the planet into colder stretches. The stability we once knew would give way to cycles of feverish heat and bitter cold, creating seasons unlike any we've experienced before. Could life on Earth adapt to this chaotic orbit, or would this instability push ecosystems and civilizations toward the brink of collapse? With two suns, the concept of day and night, of rest and activity, would be completely transformed. Earth would experience no true night, no long hours of cool darkness where rest could come naturally. As one sun sinks below the horizon, the other rises to take its place, maintaining an eternal twilight. Without the calm of night, sleep and rest would become a luxury. The biological need for downtime would face immense challenges. Human societies and ecosystems might need to develop new ways to simulate darkness to restore balance, yet the essence of night would be lost forever. How would we cope with a world where our body's natural rhythms are constantly disturbed and the idea of rest becomes alien? Earth's climate would be dramatically altered by the double dose of solar energy. In some regions, the unrelenting heat could make life unsustainable. Deserts would spread across vast regions, turning fertile lands into barren wastelands. Meanwhile, other regions, driven by Earth's erratic orbit, could shift into periods of intense cold. Earth's seasons would no longer follow predictable patterns. Long periods of intense heat could alternate with brief, frigid winters. In this volatile world, our familiar ecosystems could face extinction, unable to adapt to the ever-changing climate. Would humanity become nomads, moving across the planet in search of habitable zones? Or would we retreat into isolated cities, shielded from the extreme temperatures, living at the mercy of an unpredictable climate? To survive in a world with two suns, humanity would have to become a master of engineering and innovation. Cities would be built to handle the constant bombardment of light and radiation, incorporating highly advanced solar shields and reflective materials. Entire cities might be built underground, where temperature and light can be controlled. With traditional agriculture no longer viable, we could turn to controlled, high-tech farming systems, hydroponics, vertical farming, and even biodomes to grow our food. The reliance on technology would become all-consuming. How would society function in such a radically altered environment? Would we be able to embrace this technological paradise, or would we grow fearful of our increasing dependence on systems that shield us from the raw power of nature? Over generations, humanity would not simply adapt technologically. We would evolve biologically to withstand this dual-sun environment. Our skin would darken, providing protection against the heightened ultraviolet radiation. Our eyes might develop extra layers of protection, enabling us to filter out the excessive light from two suns. Evolution would take its toll, subtly changing our physiology. Some people might even evolve to possess an enhanced tolerance for sunlight, while others might be more suited to life in shaded regions or underground. Humanity would no longer be the species we once were. Would we still recognize ourselves in the future? Or would our transformation into a new form of life mark the end of human identity as we know it? The psychological impact of constant daylight could be one of the most profound challenges we face. Our minds are attuned to the cycles of day and night, and the absence of true darkness could wreak havoc on our mental health. Sleep disorders would become widespread as we struggle to adapt to an endless day. Anxiety, depression, and mood disorders could spiral as people find themselves unable to relax and recharge. New technologies, artificial sleep pods, darkening simulators would become necessities, allowing us to mimic the long-lost rhythms of natural darkness. Would we accept the psychological strain of this new world? Or would we find ways to recreate the restorative solace of night, forever searching for peace in a place where light never fades? Culturally, Earth would be forever changed. Without the demarcation between day and night, we would lose much of the structure that has guided human civilization for millennia. Instead, new forms of life and celebration would emerge. Festivals of light could become central to societal life. Events that celebrate the dual suns, the eternal day. Human social habits could shift. People might work in staggered shifts to keep society running 24/7, or they might embrace longer, more frequent breaks during the night-like periods of artificial darkness. Our sense of time would change, perhaps entirely. Would we still value sleep, rest, and contemplation? Or would we create a society where productivity reigns supreme, driven by the constant energy of two suns? Eventually, humanity would evolve beyond its current form. The changes we would undergo in response to the dual suns could lead to new physical traits. Our bodies could grow larger eyes, enhanced to see through the harsh brightness. Our skin could become even darker, offering greater protection against radiation. Over generations, we might become a new species altogether. And as we evolve, so too would our relationship with the world around us. Would we adapt with grace, becoming better suited to this twin-star world? Or would we struggle, forever fighting against the forces that define our existence? The very concept of humanity, of what it means to be human, could shift as we become something entirely new. But even the twin suns, so central to our world, would not last forever. As the stars age, one or both would swell into red giants, flooding the earth with unbearable heat. Oceans would evaporate, and life, as we know it, would be unsustainable. Humanity's destiny, then, might not be on Earth at all, but in the stars themselves. We would look outward, not just toward the light of two suns, but toward the possibility of finding new homes. Would we embrace this great leap into the cosmos, finding new worlds to colonize, leaving behind the planet that once nurtured us? Or would we succumb to the harshness of the universe, struggling in vain to hold onto a world that no longer offers sanctuary? Two suns, a world bathed in perpetual light, a world of both wonder and danger. It would challenge us, push us to our limits, and in the end, perhaps it would redefine what it means to be human. But in the face of this challenge, one thing remains certain. Humanity is a species of dreamers, explorers, and survivors. Whether under one sun, two suns, or none at all, we will always reach for the stars, driven by the hope of a future beyond the horizon.